Got some baby chickies and some baby ducks. I'm not a veterinarian, but I have raised hundreds of thousands of baby birds. I grew up at a feed store that my family owned starting at age 7. So when it comes to baby chicks and ducks, I've done lots of them. So if you're looking to get some baby birds, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind for when getting started with them. One, food and water. If you want to raise baby chicks and baby ducks together, one thing is crucial. You cannot feed ducks medicated chick starter. Medicated chick starter is just a supplemented or medicated feed that helps prevent coccidiosis inside chickens. However, that medication can and will kill baby ducks. So if you want to raise them together, you have to make sure that you're feeding a non-medicated chick starter to them. Other than that, you can raise them both together just fine. You need to make sure that you're supplying clean and fresh water daily. You cannot let them run out of water. So the ducks, they will play in the water a lot and they'll make it messy, and you do not want their cage to get nasty and gross. One, it starts to smell nasty. Two, disease can start to spread from it. Now, this thing here, your heat lamp, that is going to be the most dangerous thing that you're going to be dealing with when it comes to raising your birds, because that light gets hot enough that it can burn wood and melt plastic. A lot of them come with a clamp that will fit on the side of most of your tubs. However, if your metal edge, or specifically the bulb, is touching your plastic or your metal and it starts to melt, it can and will cause a fire. Now, how to know if your heat lamp is too close to your birds or too high? They will let you know. If they are gathered up in a tight little bunch directly underneath the beam of the light, it is too high and they are too cold. So you need to lower it down a little bit. However, if they're far off on the sides and they're panting and acting way too hot, hiding over there and trying to avoid the light, and not just me because I'm talking a lot to them and they're not quite used to that right now, that is a good sign that it is too hot. But if they're in a tight little ball bunched up directly underneath the beam of the light, it is too cold inside their pen, and them being too hot and too cold are things that can make them perish. As they grow, the height that you'll need to have the light and the temperature that they will need will change. It is good to be able to change the variation of the height. So all that I got going for mine is I just got it tethered up here to a nail, so that way I can raise and lower easy, because my tub is too thick for this clamp to rest on it. So that's why I have it hanging from a string there. Now, a couple of key things that you need to be keeping an eye out for is, one, if they're acting lethargic and why they're acting lethargic. A very common thing that you can deal with specifically with chickens is poopy butt. It's where that they get a buildup of feces built up on the outside of their cloaca, and the best way to get rid of that is to get a warm, wet paper towel and just soften it up with that warm wet paper towel and then work it off. You can rip off the little butt feathers, so you need to be careful and gentle doing it if you do not want to hurt them. But if they end up with a backup, that can cause them to get borderline septic, and they can pass away from that. So that's the key thing to keep an eye out. Now, why choose a red light? Well, specifically for chickens, since they are opportunistic predators, if any of them get a little bit of an owie on them, they will continue to peck and peck and peck on the one that's got that little bit of an owie until that they've have passed away, and they'll continue to eat them. So the red light makes it just harder for them to see that wound on them. Now, clear lights work just fine, but that is the benefit of the red light. And also, it's not so bright, so it's not like you're leaving a light on them all day long. So if you're looking to get some babies going, all you need is food, water, place to keep them, and a good heat source. So if you got any questions regarding raising baby chickens or baby ducks or geese, turkeys, anything along that line, feel free to ask me. I have raised literally hundreds of thousands of them over the 20 years that I spent working at my family's feed store. They're pretty darn easy, and they're cute, and they're fun. And if you want them to start to imprint on you, you can do that. You just got to carry them around. However, what you need to be worried about is getting salmonella from them, because they do carry salmonella. So make sure you wash your hands and fight the urge to kiss them, especially growing up, because unless you want to experience the most painful diarrhea and vomiting for 2 days, that will take you completely out of commission. Good luck trying to get anything done during that time, because lifting anything, sneezing, coughing is risky, to say the least. But yeah, make sure you wash your hands every time after handling them. Make sure that their cage stays clean. Make sure that they always have food and water, and you should be good to go. And if you run into any issue, feel free to drop a comment ask me a question, and I might know the answer to it because I have probably dealt with whatever you're dealing with when it comes to your birds. All right? And make sure to handle them every day, so that way they get to know that you're not a scary big monster, and that way they learn to actually start to like you. You can have them imprint on you, if that's just if you carry them around a lot, especially when they're little bitty babies like this. And then once they do that, they'll be following you around all over the yard. Socializing your babies when they're young can really be beneficial when it comes to them growing up and getting older, so that way they're easier to get inside their cage. For every reason, whether if it's a predator or you just need to get them inside the cage earlier than before sunset, just get them familiar with your voice and with a call. Hi guys. Even though it's raining, they'll come a-running. Makes it so much easier to put them inside the cage and to know where they're at if you are having issues finding them. Just let them get to know you. And that way, you can actually walk up and hang out with them without them actually running away from you. Some of them will hop up in your lap and really start to hang out with you and really enjoy your company. Now, of course, you'll always end up with some birds that are a little bit more antisocial than the others. And of course, since it's raining, the ducks want absolutely nothing to do with me. They just want to hang outside their puddle. It's like they know I don't got some stale bread for them. Hope that helps.